over 30 countries agreed to phase out the production of almost 100 ozone-depleting substances. The protocol remains one of the greatest achievements of multilateralism.
All nations gathered here to be proud of what we have achieved.
This success set the tone for a series of powerful accords, limiting the movement of toxic waste across borders, protecting the Earth from dangerous, long-lasting chemicals, and restricting the international trade in mercury. Most recently, in 2021, UNEP finished a 2-decade-long campaign to rid the world of highly toxic leaded petrol, saving an estimated 1 million lives each year. As the world grappled with pollution and waste, another crisis was brewing.
I have dreamt of seeing great herds of wild animals, jungles, and rainforests, full of birds and butterflies. But now I wonder if they will even exist for my children to see.
Poaching and habitat loss were pushing some of the world's most iconic animals to the brink of extinction. Driven by science, UNEP supported a series of international treaties, limiting and in some cases banning the trade of endangered species, safeguarding migratory animals, expanding protected areas, and increasing financing for biodiversity protection. The seminal Earth Summit in Brazil introduced the idea of sustainable development.
This is an historical moment for the mobilization of all peoples of the world.
Over the last 5 decades, UNEP has helped more than 100 countries ensuring the right to a healthy environment in their constitutions and produced scientific studies to guide member states in their decision-making. In 2012, a new international body was established to provide scientific data on biodiversity in a joint effort from UNEP and other UN organizations. In 2019, it found that 1 million species face the threat of extinction, underscoring the urgency to act.
The action we take alters the Earth that future generations will inherit.
The world is starting to recognize the effects of planetary warming, but UNEP began sounding the alarm 3 decades ago. As early as 1988, UNEP and the World Meteorological Organization launched the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. For over 30 years, IPCC science has helped member states counter climate change, earning the body a Nobel Prize for its work. UNEP-backed studies have informed some of the planet's most crucial climate accords. These include a 1992 agreement that set a template for curbing greenhouse gas emissions, followed by the Kyoto Protocol and the landmark 2015 Paris Agreement.
I'm proud to announce that 175 parties have signed the Paris Agreement.
UNEP has also mobilized 450 banks, insurers, and investors to help create a more sustainable world.
We don't want fossil fuels anymore.
A lot has happened in the last 50 years, but it's the next 10 that will be pivotal for life on this planet.
In fact, what you and I and other ordinary people around the world can do will not by itself save the natural world. The great decisions, the great disasters that face us can only be dealt with by governments. And that's why this organization is so important.
Over the past 50 years, we've seen when the world decides to act, the world comes together to act. Together with member states and partners, we've achieved a lot. But now is the time to truly make that lift for humanity and to do much more and much faster. And I have every reason to be hopeful. As an organization grounded in science, UNEP will do everything in its power to push for breakthroughs. Our planet and humanity depends on us. Together, we can build a greener and safer and fairer world.
We are facing an existential crisis.
Unlike anything the world has ever seen.
We need to take action.
Everyone has to stand up.
The warning is not a new one.
Our world faces a triple planetary crisis of climate change, nature loss, and pollution.
For generations, humanity, often without realizing it, has been destroying the natural world. In the name of progress, we have polluted the Earth's oceans, chopped down its forests, and clouded its skies. Today, nature and our own survival rest on a knife's edge.
It's time to ratchet up the action that we need to have at the country level.
The United Nations Environment Programme was established with one goal in mind: to unite the world in saving our planet.
It is clear that the environmental crisis which is confronting the world will profoundly alter the future destiny of our planet.
For 5 decades, UNEP has used science and its mandate to bring the world together to help nations find solutions to grave environmental threats.
What is this pollution that we have heard so much about?
The Mediterranean is sick. It's being poisoned slowly but steadily for those who need it most.
The 1970s found a world grappling with an unprecedented crisis of pollution. Could the seemingly irreparable damage be undone? UNEP inspired the world to take action, preventing oil spills and toxic discharge by ships, uniting 143 coastal states to limit ocean pollution and save marine life, reducing air pollution and ending the scourge of acid rain. But soon the world would face its biggest environmental challenge yet.
The destruction of the ozone layer on a global scale is no longer just a theory. The hole over the Antarctica is no longer an isolated seasonal phenomenon.
If the breach continued to grow, the planet would suffer lethal levels of ultraviolet radiation, harming human health, biodiversity, and climate. In 1987, UNEP facilitated the Montreal Protocol. Over 30 countries agreed to phase out the production of almost 100 ozone depleting.
All right. Okay. I want to say welcome to everyone. It's nice to have you back here at this section. Yes, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Yes, we did this last weekend, and yes, we are back again. And yes, I want to tell you that this moment is going to be a very fantastic one because we have wonderful guest speakers who are here to impact us with knowledge once again. And yes, you're going to be filled with a lot of knowledge, and they will be sharing with us their experiences. So I want to once again welcome you all to this section. And yes, this is ECO30, and I am Yetunde Unite. I am Program Associate for ADF Africa, and I also have my colleague here, Ayokunle Aziz. Would you like to say hi?
Good evening, everyone. Hi.
All right. Thank you. So yes, I'm just saying welcome to everyone. This has been a lot of ride, of course, for us, and I believe that we have learned a lot from these experiences. Okay, I'll be giving the mic back now to my colleague, Ayokunle. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yetunde, for that. Welcome, everyone. Kindly confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, fantastic. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, our ECO champion. How has been the day with us? I know for some, the day is still very much ongoing, while for others, it's just beginning. While for some, probably you're just wrapping up the day. But then I trust it has been good. So I would like to hear from us. How are we doing today? How has been our day, basically? So let's we can use the chat box. Yesterday you can help me with that, and read one or two comments. Let's hear from our champions. Particularly, I'm even interested in this week challenge. Which of these challenges was challenging, or which of the challenges did you find quite interesting, or did you resonated mostly with? So you can share in the comment box. Yesterday, please kindly help us read that. Let's take one or two comments, one or two responses before we move forward.
Okay, we have not gotten any response yet, but if anybody would like to share, maybe by putting up their hands so that we can allow them to speak about their experiences, maybe that would be nice. Okay, if you're willing to share your experience about the past week exercise, you can signify so that you can share with us. Let's learn from you too. Yes, we all have the experiences. We are all through the challenges, trying to solve community problems and creating solutions and making our community a better place for everyone to live. Yes, but yes, I want to hear about your experiences about it. We know it has been challenging, just as the challenges, yes. But yes, I want to hear about how your experience has been. I don't want to believe that nobody experienced anything because I'm not seeing anything from the chat box right now, and nobody's raising their hands. Okay, Ayokule, would I say that our participants are shy to share their experience? Oh, one came in at last. Okay, before I take the hand, I would like to read the what I have in the chat box now. Okay, this person is saying, hello everyone, good evening from Cameroon. I am happy to be here this evening to learn. This week has been challenging for me as I experienced constant blocked. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to block to one thing I can say about this week is that it has been insightful getting to learn from various person. Oh, awesome. Okay, I have two hands now. So we're taking that. All right, Atinuke, you can speak now. You have the mic.
Okay, yes. Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
I'm Oyeni Yabise Omoyemade from Nigeria. And I'm going to say it has been a very good one from the beginning of this 30 days challenge. Impacting them into the life of my family members and even my friends, trying to educate them to join me in the challenge, like from the meatless Monday to taking shorter showers, adopting reusable bags, greening in my home, and even a lot more. I'll stay committed to the challenge. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Atinuke, for sharing. Yes, that has been a very impactful one for you to involve your family members in this challenge. Thank you for stretching the hand of impact. Thank you so much. So, Ebute Vincent, let's hear from you, please. Vincent.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah. In fact, the week challenge has been an impactful one. In fact, one of the day I will not forget was the day I interact with a market woman on that support the local farmers. In fact, that day in the shop was very, very interesting, and also the meatless meal. You can say I even posted a video showing me and I and a child, or a child and I eating together. It was so interesting. The light shower, asking myself, maybe taking bed to make sure I get the calculation or get the idea very well. And so on. In fact, it's quite impactful. I thank the IDF family.
All right, thank you so much, Vincent, for sharing. I saw one hand now, but and has disappeared right now. Okay, no problem. Thank you all for sharing your experiences. Yes, that is what we want you to actually experience, because we want you to see what you're doing, make more impact in your family and in your community, because it starts from you and it's radiates to every other person. Okay, I can see Farida and Abiba's hand. So that will be the answer I'll be taking right now. Okay, okay, I have
Thank,
Abiba's hand now.
okay, thank you so much. I personally want to appreciate for the challenges. In fact, it has been so impactful to myself, more so to my family. All the challenges, they've really made me to get a bit organized in my house. And my family always look forward to the next day challenge. And it's so interesting because we do it as a family, also with my neighbors. Some of them have also been inducted to this program. So I appreciate. Uh, yeah, that is all I have for today. I'm from Kenya, Frida. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Frida. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for bringing in your family to this challenge. It's very interesting. Yes, let's have you, Abiba.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Habiba Sulaiman. I'm from Kaduna, Nigeria. So I will start by thanking the organizers of this whole challenge. I know it's not easy, it has not been easy collating, designing, and organizing everyone. So for me, I think the challenging task is yesterday that we have to check for leaks in the house. Like almost everywhere is connected like inside the wall. So I'm just uh, clueless. I don't even know how to go and check for what to correct or what to adjust. So it's like a reminder for me to say that having I don't know how to put it, having channels that are well structured is also something, because you will not have anyhow disjointed leaks at home. Then the day that we have to um, buy things from local businesses, I woke up in the morning and have it in my mind that I'm going to buy something, but I forgot. Like I it was when I came back home, and it was very late when I went back home, and I wanted to give my report. That was when I remembered that I didn't even patronize anybody today. So it's been challenging, and it's something that is intentional, but it's just that the reporting and all that, but it is going smoothly, and that change in everyday activities is something that people around me are seeing, and some of them are putting into practice what I'm doing. So thank you very much for organizing this. I will stop here.
Welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yes, yeah, we are just trying to bring in your consciousness and being aware that you need to do all these things, just as you said that you forgot, but later when you remember, you deem it feel. I know that after that day, you would want to try that again. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for everyone that has also shared. I can see the chat say Asibe is saying it's awesome, impactful. Oh, Florence is telling Abiba that yes, you used the supermarket. Oh, don't mind that. I hope you will change now. All right, somebody's saying good evening, everyone. That is Fidel from Fidel Benin. Okay, is that your name? Okay, fine. My experience of the week continue to promote production through composting, do not waste water. Yes. Thank you all for sharing. And now we'll be moving on to the next section where we'll be introducing our guest speakers for today's section. Ayokunle, over to you. You're muted, Ayokunle.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. You're muted again.
What about now? Is it better now?
Yes, good.
Okay, fantastic. Sorry. I said earlier that it's very interesting to hear some of us, share our experiences. I was actually looking forward to all our WhatsApp Eco champions. When I read some of our summations of the day challenges, it's always very interesting and very encouraging. And I was hoping that many of us would have the opportunity to share this on our live show tonight. But it's fine. For those that have shared, we really appreciate that. So without wasting much of our time, tonight we'll be looking at waste not, want not, tackling household waste. And the question is, as much as some of us will say that we don't have much at home, there's no this at home. So what this is saying is that there's still wastage at home. And I heard somebody just said earlier on that she has learned, this week has been so interesting. From the shower, reducing usage of water. And I'm like, so it means that even as much as we say we do not have much in our household, we still engage in wastage. So tonight we're hoping that our guest, just like Yetunde Junada have rightly said, would help us to address some questions around this theme for our live show tonight. So we're looking at waste not, want not, tackling household waste. And tonight we have two wonderful people with us. We have them male and female. And we have with us Philip Nia Obodai Anang. I hope I called that, I pronounced that name very well. Philip, good evening, Philip.
Good evening, Mayo. I hope I
Fantastic.
got your name right too.
You're welcome, yes. Also we have with us Temitope Okono. Temitope, good evening to you. Okay, so I'm just going to go straight to introduction of our guest. I would start with Philip. Let me just start with Philip. So Philip is the owner and founder of the Green Friends Limited, Accra, Ghana. Mr. Philip is an entrepreneur, sustainability advocate, and a tech innovator with passion for circular economy, digital innovation, and sustainable development. As the owner and founder of the Green Friends Limited, Philip has been leading efforts to create inclusive, tech-driven solutions that address environmental challenge in Ghana and beyond. The Green Friends connect individuals and businesses to flexible, sustainable, and personalized waste collection through an ongoing digital platforms, redefining how communities manage waste and promoting responsible consumption and production. With experience in waste management, digital platforms, and social impact innovation, Philips works align closely with the United Nations Sustainable Developmental Goals, particularly in advancing climate actions, sustainable cities, and industrial innovation. I was hoping that we would give a virtual clap to Mr. Philip. It's an interesting profile, Mr. Philip. We're excited to have you on our live show tonight. So also we have with us Temitope Okono, who is a renowned environmentalist and who has led impactful initiatives like the Eco School, NG, and Waste Wise Women, educating over 130,000 students and preventing over 1 million tons of plastic waste. She's a strategic leader, a mentor, and an award-winning champion, including being a two-time CNN Eco Champion and Africa's 100 times women hero, heroine. Through partnership, she has secured over $300,000 US grants to expand our organization. I mean, these are interesting people, and we are very, very much glad to have you on our show tonight. I'm still hoping to hear from Madam Temitope. Okay. Without wasting much of our time, I'll hand over back to Yetunde Junad as we go properly into the live show for tonight. Yetunde, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ayakinde, for helping me to share the profile of a fantastic speaker for today. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, I didn't see any clap or giving them flowers. I'm not seeing the shout on the chat. I can just tell those people to just please go home and not tell us anything today. Okay, I'm seeing some clap already. Yes, these are people who tried as much as possible to carve out time out of their time to be here today just to share with us our experiences. Please let's appreciate them. Let's welcome them. Yes, they are here to share their experiences. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I can see the virtual claps right now. All right, thank you. All right, good day, Mr. Phillips, and good day, Madam Temitope. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Phillips. Madam Temitope, please confirm you can hear me. All right, thank you so much. I just wanted to hear that lovely voice. All right, thank you so much. Yes, we'll be diving into today's topic. So it will be more of an interaction section, just as we had last section. So I'll be asking some questions, and yes, I would like these questions to be interactive as I asked this question. So I want to start asking this question from Madam Temitope. So my question now is, okay, when we talk about household waste, what are the most common type you think of, and why do you think they pile up so easily? Because yes, house waste, until this challenge started, some of us don't even understand or know that we are wasting some things, or some things are household waste. So yes, please, what are the most common type you think of, and why do you think they pile up so easily, ma'am? Thank you.
Thank you so much for another opportunity to be here. Dave, good evening, everyone. Good evening to Mr. Philip as well. Yesterday, you've done a good job. Thank you. Well done. And Ayokunle as well. So to answer your question, we should understand that, so for those people, well, I want to believe that you're already on a challenge for the past few days, and you already understand what waste is. Waste is part of our everyday life, and how we manage it will either protect our health or our environment, or just harm them specifically. And you find out that an average household generates a surprising amount of food waste in terms of even plastic, and other packaging waste, most especially because of our consumer loving lifestyle, right? So in a typical home, you find that you have different kinds of food, from your food scraps or kitchen scraps from the kitchen. You of course have plastic containers, either from eateries or from water, drinks, You also have sachet. In every home, I've always had to look out for sachet. So in terms of maybe water, sachet, or seasoning, sachet. You also have your nylons. Thank God for the ban in Lagos State. So we've been having some level of reduction in nylon use. And then you have, of course, old clothes. Everybody wants to have a new clothes on Christmas Day, New Year Day, new clothes. I'm sure this Easter everybody's planning to buy new clothes as well. So we always have some sort of clothes at home, and would love to change them from time to time. So all of this materials build up quickly because we often lack a proper sorting or disposal system. So many homes will also shop without planning. We cook more than what we can eat, and then we throw away most often our leftovers. Overpackaging in markets and supermarkets also adds to the pile. So just imagine you want to buy a perfume. Like I remember the other time I was getting a perfume and I realized I had to open a pack, open another pack before I got to my perfume. I mean, that's just overpackaging for me. So for me, I think that's what I would rather say to answer your question, while all of this household waste pile up very easily. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And yes, you see the last example that you said just now, we ladies, we are guilty because yes, I love packaging. Yes, and to me now, I just realized that it is a waste because why would you pack a small perfume, big carton, wrap it with papers, nylon, and all that before I can unveil what is there. So thank you so much, Ma, for that. Okay, my next question is going to Mr. Phillips, and my question is, why is it important for individuals and family to pay attention to how much waste they generate at home? Why is it important for individuals and families to pay attention to how much waste they generate at home? Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that question, and thank you once again for having me here. To answer your question, if you look at our terrain as West Africans, right, especially when it comes to how we develop our communities, we do not take full advantage of planning when it comes to how we migrate to different locations in our community. That's the first point I'd like to make. So because of this, waste collection across the West African continent is becoming increasingly complex. Many households still don't have access to reliable waste collection services. And even where these services exist, they lack the capacity to operate fully, to be able to service everybody, to make sure everybody has access to their services. We rely a lot on government when it comes to waste management worldwide, including collection. But if you look at how things has been in Africa for so many years, government doesn't really invest in that. And because of that, it is contributing to the quantity of waste being generated in the households. Just like my colleague just said, because of the consumer behavior, we generate so much waste in so much short time, especially with the introduction of on-demand delivery services. Like these days, you can just get on your phone, order food, get on your phone, order groceries, and before you realize, you have so much waste in your home, right? This is a few reasons that are contributing immensely to the piling up of waste in the homes. And because the access to waste collection isn't sufficient, it means those that is being generated in large quantities is not being collected at a convenient time. And when this happens, because there's water and so many, unwanted bacteria and fungi in the dustbins. And that's part of the reason why sometimes when you open your dustbin, it gives off, a bad odor. And it lets you know that there's something going on within your waste that is harmful to you and your environment. So sorry for the break. So when you look at if you look at this scenario, it contributes immensely to the outbreak of diseases. Like recently in Accra, some few weeks ago or about a month ago, there was an outbreak of cholera because some of the practices that are becoming more common instead of being extinct is that people are finding their own means of getting rid of the rubbish in their homes when it becomes a nuisance. And it washes. Some people even go as far as burning the waste, which is destroying the atmospheric purity. And then also some people throw it into gutters whilst it's raining, which is also contributing to flooding and pollution of some of our vegetations that we end up selling on the market. So these are some of the ways that when families keep piling up waste and it's not being attended to accordingly. These are some of the challenges that come out. From the piling up of waste in the homes. Sometimes you do not see the effects because you're so focused on what you're generating and you feel the little malpractice you do in your home doesn't go a long way, but because there's lack of education when it comes to this, there's actually a large number of people doing things like this. And once you get onto the field, you realize that it's having a huge and immense effect on society. That's why, some of the major cities in the West African countries are dirtier compared to other parts of the world. So yes, these are some of the few key reasons why we have to pay attention to waste in our homes, the generation of
All
waste in
right.
our homes. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Phillips. Yes, thank you so much. You've really talked about a lot of things, talking about us relying on the government and all that. And yes, we need to take up the responsibility ourselves. Thank you so much. So my next question now is going to Madam Temitope. So what are some simple and practical ways people can reduce waste in the kitchen, bedrooms, or general living spaces? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. So, well, I always like to tell people to start small, progress over too much wahala, to celebrate each step. So I'll start with the kitchen. I mentioned something earlier. We need to ensure that we are not consuming too much. We're cooking what we can eat because people tend to discard easily, So plan your meals. Buy only what you need, Store your food properly to avoid spoilage. Reuse your food containers for storage, for example. And most importantly, because you can't be in a kitchen and not, generate waste at all. Compost them. Compost those kitchen scraps, those food waste, those yam peels, potato peels, those, onion wraps, all of those things that you would use during your cooking processing. You need to begin to compost them. Start thinking composting. So for me, for the kitchen, when you talk about your bathroom, of course, it's always important to switch to bar soaps instead of those refillable soap containers. And just recently, I even found out that most of these soap containers are not what they seem to be like. Although I've always known that, but somebody, mentioned that to me recently. I said, man, this thing that I'm using, they tend to, it's a whole lot of advertisements when it comes to those kind of container. No, don't get me wrong. There are other ones that are good as well. But then again, we have so many fake that has proliferized, the market. And so I would always advise the bar soaps. You get to, there's this guilt-free feeling that you have when you're not using plastic. So for me, I like to use, my bar soaps, and then to ensure that I'm limiting my use of plastic, and then encouraging more of, I mean, the wrap of my bar soap usually comes in paper, so I can easily compost that, limiting my waste footprint. Then you can use your reusable clothes instead of disposable wipes. So I'm talking about women now. I know we tend to have this cotton wool for our cleaning, our facials, and all of those things. And then we get to throw it away. By the time you finish one, or you look at your bin in 1 week, you find out that you've used so many cotton wools, cotton wipes, and all of that. Why don't we begin to use reusables? And I think I fell in love with my reusable when I began cleaning, although I'm really not a fan of facials anymore. So what I did was there was this reusable pad I got, and all I needed to do was to, each time I finish using, I wash it and then air dry. So every day I have to use, if I have to use it every day, I don't do makeup every day. So if I have to use it, I go wash, I finish, I use it and then wash it when I'm done. So there's no trash in my bin at the end of the day. It's just that many people will find that very difficult because we are not trained, to do this. We're not used to it. We've not trained ourselves to what's that word now? We're not trained to
Adapt to that.
adopt that kind of sustainable practice. But believe me, when you begin to do that, you would realize that it is doable and it is fulfilling, because when you come to a gathering like this, you'll be like, I do that too, I do that. You'll be excited. It's just that everybody can't talk right now. I'm sure that some people are here like, oh, I do that too as well. And you're happy, and you're most importantly, you're protecting the planet where you live. So we can avoid those single-use plastics as much as possible. And then because you know that, this is one thing I would like to put in here, because we know that the bathrooms most times are usually damp, they are breathing space for living organisms, even formaldehyde and different things. One solution can be to begin to plant adaptable plants, indoor plants in your bathroom. It helps to remove that heat, the moist, the smell, all of those things that usually come in with the bathroom, particularly when you don't have good windows. Because I see these days that the bathrooms is like as if they have planned, all the real estate people, to start making bathroom windows very small. Don't know why, so these days you see new homes with very small bathrooms. So if you have that kind of home or you have that kind of bathroom, it's better you now start including indoor plants in your bathroom. And of course, around your home, we talked about this earlier, about ensuring that, because we have different plastics, food waste and clothes and all of those things. So let us begin to upcycle our old clothes. There's somebody I know, Ajoke, who is in Ibadan. She now converts, and Sidicats, a recycler, who now converts fashion waste, cloth, different clothes. You have the cardigan, jeans, there's a way I just got to know that there are different texture. I know that there are different texture, right? But there are different textures that are used for different recycling purposes, So these recyclers can help you turn them into different items, from floor mats, to wall decors, and a whole lot of stuff. So you can upcycle or either donate them. So with all of those clothes that we have at home, like some of us are going to be buying Easter dress this weekend, this next week. The one you have last year, I know you don't want to wear it, but that should not be the lifestyle of a sustainability practitioner. We need to begin to reuse our own clothes. And if you don't want them anymore, donate them or upcycle them. Also reuse your shopping bags. Use your make shopping bags. You can buy them if you like, but then you know that you're saving a lot. Right now, supermarkets are now collecting a lot of money to get a shopping bag. So the shopping bag we would have to actually get for free is now being sold because of your own lack of sustainability practice or habits. So it's high time. By the time you go to supermarket 10 times in 1 week, realize that you're already spending like 10,000 naira or so. So we need to adopt that lifestyle of using our bags, using them over, even if they're paper bags. And when you go to a party this day or go somewhere or go for a function, they usually will give you a bag. If it's a sustainability function, they give you a reusable bag, just like we gave out to our Eco Schools champions this year, reusable bags, just so that they have the culture of always holding their reusable bags. So all of those bags, you can reuse them every time, over and over, wash them, dry them, use them. And then, of course, well, we are fond of also using a lot of paper. So like I tell my people in my office, why don't you use your laptop or use your phones to do some, sometimes when you're taking records or you're taking data of things on the paper, you just take a sheet of paper. Sometimes you don't even know where you kept it. You don't even know where it's, it flies away, something. But your phone, because everybody guards their phone jealously, you can't lose your phone, and everything is in your phone, is digitalized. If I need it, all you need to do. And that's why I encourage the use of either Microsoft Word or Google Workspace to ensure that you're always keeping your files, tag them, file them, put them in folders, name them in a name that you would never forget. And that way you have your files, or whatever you're using up to date. PET bottles, the same thing, recycle them, turn them into beautiful household items through upcycling. Many of our buckets at home can be converted into planters that we can use to, grow plants at home that we use in the kitchen, as little as your spring onions, your carrots, your onion, your garlic, your ginger, turmeric. All of these things can be created, in the front of your kitchen, and you can reuse your PET bottles or your buckets and so many other things. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Yes, that was a lot because I even had some other questions that I wanted to ask after that. But yes, you've answered all. So thank you for sharing, ma'am. We really, really appreciate you. So Mr. Phillips, I have one more question, and
Okay.
because we need to wrap up because of our time. Yes. All right. Mr. Phillips, I want to ask that how can composting and recycling be introduced? Hello, sorry, please help us mute your mic so that you won't distract the section. Thank you. All right, thank you. So my question is, how can composting or recycling be introduced into homes where it is not yet an habit? Okay, what are the tools or mindset shift that is needed? Because yes, I believe that there are tools required and there's need for mindset shift to do that because I'm also guilty. But yes, yeah, so how can
Okay.
composting and recycling be introduced into a home? Thank you.
Okay, I really appreciate this question because this is something that Green Friends as a company is practicing, right? So currently we encourage anyone we have the opportunity to come in touch with, which includes our customers, to think of waste as a resource and not just trash, right? With just a little bit of creativity and effort, where what most people throw away can actually become something very useful. like my colleague just mentioned a few minutes ago. You can do a lot of DIY projects like turning buckets into garden pots, actually getting free compost for your garden instead of buying it, which in turn saves you money. And one thing we are doing at Green Friends is that we make flexible mobile dustbins with scrap metals, right, and trash bags, right, which makes it easy for us to transport it to any location. And what we do is that we incentivize our customers who recycle by putting their plastic waste into those bins, and we collect it for free. And in turn, when they're using our app, it becomes credits to them, and they can be used to reduce the cost of the service when we provide it to them, right? And one of the things we are doing also is to use that avenue to encourage creativity amongst those who have kids. So what we're doing is that we are working with the parents to buy 3D printers, so that they can join their kids to, come up with design projects for their science projects, school projects, and just anything to help them become creative. So in addition to what our colleague just said, these are some of the shifts we can do as individuals, in our homes. You can even there are so many little projects where even the food waste we are collecting, right, and then the plastic waste with a little science, science, we can teach our kids projects on how to turn those things into other energy resources, just to help the young ones build up their minds and understand the scientific world better. So that's the little thing I think. That's the little I have to contribute to your question.
Thank you so much. Yes, we need to start having that mindset shift. Just as I said that I am also guilty, but I'm improving. Yes. What I have been doing last year, I've improved on it now, doing better. And let's change our mindset too. We need to start changing our mindset. I'm doing better. I'm making our community a better place to live. All right, just to wrap up for today, because yes, we have had a lot today, and my guest speakers are doing fantastically well and doing justice to my questions. Okay, let me just say, I think this is the last question for Madam Temito. Okay, I want to say, okay, if somebody want to start a low waste or zero waste lifestyle today, what's one piece of advice you would give to help them begin without feeling overwhelmed?
Oh, well, I'll just say can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I'll just say, take it easy, one step at a time. You don't need to go zero waste overnight, start small, choose a room at a time, maybe your kitchen, for example, or your bathroom, like we stated earlier. Begin by reusing every plastic container. Let's take for the kitchen, for example. Begin by reusing every plastic container. Maybe you buy food outside, of which that should now be a no-no. Starting from now, after this class, we should no longer buy food in plastic outside. In fact, I encourage people to cook their food at home. Carry your reusable container to the eatery and buy the food if you have to, if you cannot cook at home. That way people will look at you. Yes, it's okay. Let them look, let them talk. But make sure that as they are looking, you're passing a statement, you're passing a comment, and you're saying, you know what, I'm reusing my plastic, you should do that too. That will cause a curiosity in the mind of whoever you have said that to. And, they begin to maybe, scout for it online and begin to read up about it without knowing you have already impacted somebody's life. So you begin by reusing that plastic, begin by also composting all the wraps, like I told you earlier. My colleague has shared earlier, again, how to begin to compost at home. Don't try to do everything at once, because that can actually overwhelm you. But focus on consistency, focus on progress, over time, all of those small habits that you have been able to incorporate into your lifestyle will become a sustainable lifestyle at the end of the day. Because sustainable living is not just for the environment, it is for our families, it's for ourselves, our future, and of course for our pockets. I always say that because for many people who don't do sustainability, they always feel that sustainability. No,
I will take it there.
It's not your pocket.
Okay.
So let us start with our homes, one room at a time. It will have this ripple effect, and it will spread through our families, our streets, our community, and of course Nigeria. Thank you so much
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Phillips, it seems you want to add to that.
Hello, sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was thinking you wanted to add to what she was saying.
Oh, okay. She just took the words right out of my mouth, so I appreciate her for
Oh,
that.
all right. Okay, thank you so much,
She's really
everyone.
made some valid points, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Philip. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Philip. That was a good one. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for having me. I have to run now. Bye, everyone. I hope we connect on LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, yes, bye. It's nice to have you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Please say thank you to Madam Temitope Okonu. Yes, she has impacted us a lot on this section this moment. Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much, Mr. Phillips, too. Thank you so much for sharing with us your experiences. And yes, that will be all for today's discussion. Till next time when we have such discussion. And yeah, I can see a lot of chats, contribution, and okay, let me just read them out. So before we move on to this with this program, so that we can round up because the time is not our side. Okay, Samsudin is saying I can't talk too much because my throat is sore. Okay, sorry, but I want to express my appreciation to the organizer. I learned a lot, not just for myself, but also for my family and the entire community. I participated in all the challenges. Some I was able to solve, while others I contacted an expert in the field. Oh, fantastic. Well done. Okay, Frida is saying, thanks to ECO30 Challenge, it's really impacting to us to embrace on this practice. Sharing the same with others will also improve on sustainability. Information is power. Thank you so much. Okay, and Falaba saying, waste management at all levels requires both awareness and knowledge to undo waste effectively. The type of volume of waste generated by affluent lifestyle differ significantly from those of less affluent communities. As such, effective waste management must be guided by well-developed community, by laws, supported by strong enforcement measures and collaborative partnership. I stand to be corrected. You're on the right path. Okay. Somebody say yesterday I discovered that fen plants are good in absorbing moist so that they can be kept indoor, especially in the bathroom. Wow, that's fantastic. I'm just hearing that information too. And yes, it is. Okay, one question I have about cloth waste is how to dispose when it gets bad or turn up. Okay, our facilitator are not here. Okay. Don't worry, we'll get our answers. We'll have to reach out to them for them to give you a proper answer to your questions. And I said, what can be done to the companies producing such harmful bags? Okay. Somebody saying, sure, we collect plastic bottles and make some dustbin out of them in our schools. Oh, all right. Then we have thank you. And I want to say thank you, everyone, also. So, Anita, I'm passing the
So
mic to
yesterday,
Anita right now. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
before we pass to Anita, I think
Okay.
I would just want to make maybe not a contribution now, but maybe give answers to the two
The
questions that we
questions. All
have.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I say the first one there is asking about what can be done to have closed waste and how to dispose when it gets bad or torn. Well, of course, I think the first thing to learn now is to inform us that when clothes get torn, doesn't necessarily mean that's the end of life for that cloth. I remember way back when we were much younger, our parents they ensure the practice of maintenance so much more that you would use a particular clothes and pass it onwards to your younger ones. So, but more recently these days, what you find out is that a little pinch of maybe a nail or maybe a little cotton stretch on a particular material, this recent generation, they tell you that the clothes now has become bad. And these are just some of the little things that just a needle and thread could fix. And maybe sometimes it's just for you to pass it on to some persons to mend for you or even make a design of it. I remember that there used to be some when we talk now, some persons will just tell you that that's poverty that's making you to to think that way, right? But I need to inform you that sometimes the habit of maintenance and preservation is not coming from a place of poverty mindset. It's just coming from a place of care. When you understand how many liters of waters that goes into production of a pair of jeans, you would not want to toss out the jean at the slightest mark. When you realize how much and how many people, millions of people in several parts of the world that do not have access to good water because of the production cycle, the contamination that comes from textile productions, you will care so much that if it is possible for you to hone, we call something minimalist lifestyle. And one minimalist lifestyle is preaching to you is that you have like just a wardrobe of wears. You have just probably about just 7 wears basically, maybe at the max, such that a pair of these fits on for a pair of another, and you are able to cycle your fashion to make several other complete pieces without necessarily having to own, one piece per time. So, these are some of the things we need to understand. When you look at the cruelty that animals go through before cotton is extracted from some of them, especially for some of us who are lovers of high fashion and, Gucci and this very serious collections, Fendi, all of them, you have them in your numbers and names as you call the brands. But when you look at what bets the production of those premium and exclusive ones that you think because you can afford, you are willing to pay several dollars to. You understand that, what we talk about is beyond that you are able to afford these things. You look at how many animals are going into extinction because this particular brand has to make an exclusive product. So these are some of the things we are talking about. It doesn't matter what you can afford, but we are saying now that the common good, the interest of the masses, is what we are looking at. And I think practically one thing that comes from, the clothes like that, when you have clothes and you do not want them to waste and you're trying to understand what you can do with them, is that I know much recently people make tote bags from one cloth. I think jean material is even an amazing material that once it gets spoiled and you can't wear it again, instead of disposing them, you can make tote bags. I've seen the design of having your couch made from jean materials also. More recently, you have jotters and executive journals that are covered in Ankara prints. They are always very lovely. You see them in conferences, you have them as wedding souvenirs. And I think even when you look at some sustainable products these days, they try as much as possible to use the materials that you consider worn out to complement and make a statement on certain products. When you have collected an Ankara print mixed kind of conference bag before, I'm sure you would love it because it goes very well in any fashion. You're wearing native, you're wearing formal English attire, you're just good and you're moving with it. So these are some of the things you can do. You necessarily don't have to toss it out and dispose it. And I think I still remember that there used to be this company, or maybe many companies anyway, I don't know, that tries to make even slippers from your textiles. These are some of these that are common with women. You see them, they do so many things, and you're wondering that how do you come up with this initiative? Very beautiful things to do. So these are just some of the things you can think of. And even I'm sure we've not exhausted the ideas that could come from how to dispose clothes waste. I'm sure we haven't exhausted the options that we have from it. So I think that's about one then. And someone is asking what can be done to the companies producing such harmful bags. Well, this is why we have the ECO30 Sustainable Living Challenge, right? It is an advocacy initiative. If we all decide about over 500 persons that are under this challenge, or the several thousands that we have, that you have identified a particular brand that is producing something you consider to be harmful, you can always advocate for a change of style from the company. I know so much that I've seen an Indian company that produces this bag that is able to decompose. When you toss it on the soil, it decomposes to grow into, I think, into plants. And there is one that is a soluble bag that dissolves after like about not up to 72 hours. It dissolves naturally, so it just goes back to form crust. So when you find these companies are not ready to imbibe into their production the innovations of time, sustainability practices, because I believe within me that when attention is on all these people, you understand that the tech and the resources to produce some of these things that betters the environment, they have it handy. So we can all raise our voice to call out these harmful things that are being produced. But the only good thing I don't want us to do is that when you are saying now that you're calling out this brand for producing a particular, harmful resources, do not be an hypocritical evangelist that on the other hand, maybe you are the one that orders every available product on every Black Friday. And at the end of the day, you have the heap of waste within your closet, and you are here calling out another brand for doing almost the same thing that you are also practicing low-key. So, I know it's possible for all of us to live sustainably, and yeah, we will continue to do that even as we progress into the next weeks of our challenge. So yeah, thank you very much, and that will be all for now.
All right, thank you so much, my honorable leader and boss. Thank you for sharing. Yes, I hope we have all learned one or two things from the speaker and from the contribution from Mr. Mayowa. And that is to tell us that, yes, we still need a lot to do. And yes, that starts from me and you. Then, yes, it grows to the community and the world at large. All right, I want to give Anita the mic now. Anita, hi.
Hi, it's today. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, good evening, everyone. A very big thank you to all of you and our esteemed participants for joining the ECO30 Sustainable Living Challenge 3.0 live show. On behalf of ADF Africa, we appreciate your active participation, insightful discussions, and commitment to sustainable living. We want to let you know that your contributions are invaluable in shaping a better future, and we are excited to continue this journey with you, and we look forward to making a positive impact together. Let's keep inspiring and empowering each other towards a greener tomorrow. Let's stay sustainable, let's stay inspired, stay green, and keep shining. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh, before we go, yes, please, can you please on your camera, let's have some photograph before we leave. I am waiting. Please let's on our cameras. Let's on our cameras. I want to see your beautiful and fantastic faces so that I can take my beautiful picture. I want to send it to the president of America. So I don't know if your face is not there. I don't know how to identify you or tell them how your pictures look like. Also, I will appreciate if you can on your camera. Admin, please help us. Okay. Just hold on. Hold on. Okay. Because I need to see our faces. I want to share it with the president of
I
America.
guess it's fixed now. Let them try
Yeah, it's
again.
fixed now. Yes. All right. Thank you. Oh, wow. Yeah, see my people's faces.
Thank
Nice to have
you.
you.
Thank
Yes. I want to see more. Oh, how do you want me to report to the president now that you are on this meeting?
That's Frida from
All right, thank you all.
Thank
It's been a
you. Thank
fantastic one.
you.
Okay, before we leave, I want to remind us to please follow ADF Africa
Thank you.
on. Oh, you're welcome. I want to please remind us to follow ADF Africa on every social media and do so that we can get updated with more information for ADF Africa. And I believe that this experience for ECO30 has been impactful. And I want us to share it on our social media as we have always done and impact others. So it's nice to have you all on this call right now and do have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you. It was a very nice session.
Bye.
Bye,
All right,
everyone.
bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
You give me a